Hi, everybody. Another On the Couch with Dr. J. I'm here in my other office. I still got a couch. There it is. And today I just wanted to share some things that have been coming up in my office this past week. And actually, it comes up probably pretty often. And the topic I'm going to talk about is breakups. Any type of relationship breakup just sucks. And I've seen my clients go through it. I've seen my clients experience the hardship and difficulty of breakups. And it is not pleasant at all. And it can happen in lots of different ways. It can happen from maybe that first experience after the breakup. So, like when you randomly run into that person, your ex, and how you feel, the anxiety. I had a client, and I've had lots of other people, not just a client, who do this where they go the opposite way, or they see their ex and they don't want to really run into them, and they're overwhelmed and they go a different way, or they do run into them and then they try to have a quick conversation because it's just awkward, or those times where people break up and they're still trying to figure out, is there still something between them? So they break up, they get back together, they break up again, they get back together, and it's just challenging trying to figure it out. I've even had clients where they've gotten to the place where they're just distraught, overwhelmed, trying to figure out what happened or why did this happen. And in doing that, they get to this place where now they're like trying to look on social media to see what their partner, their ex, is doing. They're examining who might be, what they might be doing. Are they going out? Or do they have friends over? What is actually happening, because they're trying to figure it out. And then there's the breakups where maybe it's unexpected, maybe it's not what you wanted, and you're trying to get the relationship back together. And you're doing one of two things. You're either doing everything you can to try to get that person back. You're calling them, you're texting them, you're trying to spend time with them, because the fear is, if you don't do everything you can to stay connected with them, they'll disappear. Or you do the opposite. You shut everything down, you stop communicating, because you're not sure if you want to give the person any false hope. And this has come up not only in my room, this has come up in my classroom with my students, this has come up with my clients, and that overall breakups are just really hard. And whether that means that's a breakup from just a romantic relationship where you might be with someone, could be someone that you might be in a long-term relationship with, or it could be a breakup where it's a divorce. And even that gets to the place where it can be very challenging for folks. And the difficulty about breakups is that you have to, at least at some point, come to terms with what you thought was going to happen is not. And that might mean you thought you were going to hang out this weekend, and now that's not the case. Or maybe you had a vacation planned coming up for the next 2 months, and now that's not going to happen. The hope, the dreams, the beliefs you had for the future have now changed, and you have to figure out something else. The thoughts that you had about what you would do with this person or how you would spend time, maybe you thought you were going to have a life together. Maybe you thought you were going to move in together. Maybe you thought your marriage would last longer. All these things, these hopes, these dreams, these beliefs for the future are now gone. And that is extremely hard. And with that comes a host of emotions, of sadness, of hurt, of unbelief, of confusion. And a lot of times, we hear this thought of closure. I would just want closure. And usually what that means for people is they just want to understand what happened. How did we go from being okay, being happy, being together, to now not being together? What changed between us? Or maybe you knew you were having tough times. Maybe you knew it was a challenge, it was some difficulties, but you thought it wasn't that bad. You thought that it was okay enough for the two of you to still survive, or the relationship to still go on. And now with the breakup, it's shown you the truth that it wasn't okay, or that things were maybe worse or not in the best position. And that is extremely hard for people. Now, there's a person who usually might be really struggling. You could be crying, you could be sad, you could be distraught. And sometimes you think your ex is celebrating. And yeah, there are some cases where that might happen. But a lot of times, your ex is also struggling. Your ex is also trying to figure out what they want to do, or how they should operate, how they should interact with you or not. And oftentimes, who know these things are family members or friends who get the inside story on both sides. And it is hard to deal with a breakup and to figure out what the next steps are. Is this a breakup that's just temporary? Is this a breakup that we're going to overcome these challenges and we'll be back together within the week? Is this a breakup where we really need some space and time apart from each other to figure it out and come back? Or is this breakup final? Is this we really need to go our separate ways? That we're not good for each other, or we're the way we are right now, we're not good for each other. And so we need to end and for it to be a final decision. These are all the things that make breakups just really hard and just make them suck. It's unknown, it's difficult. We don't know what the move might be. We don't know what's going on with the other person. And I've worked with client after client after client this week and in the years I've been doing this that struggle with that. So, some of my encouragement that I would say if you're going through a breakup or been through a breakup, whether it be your first relationship, or whether it be your first serious relationship, or whether it be someone that you thought there was going to be a future, or a marriage that you thought was going to be much longer, that if you're going through a breakup, don't do it by yourself. Meaning, think about who do you have as your support network. Is it friends? Is it family? Is it people at your job? Is it folks in your faith community? Who are you surrounding yourself with that can help you? Because being in isolation is only going to make your mind go places that are not the best. You're going to have thoughts about what the other person's doing, where the other person is, if somebody else is with the other person, and those things just become really hard to handle on your own. So have some friends. Maybe those friends or family members or coworkers will want to do something with you. They'll go out with you, they'll hang out with you, they'll talk with you, and that can help kind of ease some of those struggles in those times. Part of my role is sometimes people are able to talk with me or someone like me just to have a place to share their hurt and their pain and to deal with the loss and the change. Overall, at some point, it might mean going against what you feel like you should do, meaning you feel like you need to make the other person know for sure that how much you care about them. But you might not realize that in doing that, it feels overwhelming to them, or it feels like they're suffocating, or it feels like they're just not sure of what to do because it's so intense what you're doing. Or on the other side, you feel like you need to just shut off and make the communication just completely not there. And maybe that harsh of a move might not be the best. Maybe you could explain a little bit more of where you are, or what happened, or how you got to this place, so that the two of you can move on. In the case of a marriage, if it is at a breakup or a divorce, there could be other things that you have to think about. It could be children, it could be finances, it could be both, it could be pets, it could be lots of things that now you have to figure out how are we going to take care of these things. And it means that most likely we need some more conversation with each other. The more that you can have some open conversation and communicate about what's going on while having some specific boundaries that can help you. Specific boundaries like we're not going to keep hanging out. We're not going to keep doing those things. We're not going to give each other mixed messages that if this is over, let's be clear about it. Or if we just need some space, let's be clear about that too. Overall, what I would say to my clients and what I'm saying to you is that breakups is just another form of loss. And it's going to hurt. It's going to be confusing. It's going to make you think so many different things. But you can get through it. And if you use your support network, you can get through it in a way that you're not causing more harm to yourself. This is not the time to do the things that are unhealthy for you. This is more the time to examine and reflect and to journal even. What are your thoughts? What are your feelings? What are the things that you want to work on and be better for when that relationship gets back together, if that happens, or the next relationship? So even though relationships are challenging and breakups can be extremely hard and difficult, you can do it. You can figure it out. You can even grow and be better and use those people around you who are there to help you and to be there with you because they want the best for you. So it doesn't have to, it might suck now, but it doesn't have to stay that way. This is just another On the Couch with Dr. J.